Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be seeing how to draw this Diwali diya or earthen lamp using oil pastels. I'm using the Camlin oil pastels. Only those colors are required to draw the diya. So first I have taken a medium brown color, and I've drawn a diya. Diya is nothing but a Hindi term used for an earthen lamp. So in the time of Diwali, we use earthen lamps to, decorate our houses. But now everything has come, plastic lamps, candles, and all those things. But yeah, since the olden days, that was the tradition followed. I've taken a dark brown color and I have given a kind of shadow to the light brown color. The good thing about oil pastels is that you can layer it as many times as you can. But of course, until you reach saturation. After that, even if you layer, it gets scraped off. So I've taken the dark brown color, I've done the finishing, and then I took a light, it's like a brown gray color, and I've given uh, a lighter shade near the flame. I'd give the flame to the right side, so there I've given a lighter shade. I really liked how the earthen lamp turned out. I'm sorry the camera is shaky. I used a tripod, but when I'm moving my hand, it's kind of the camera is kind of moving, but I can't help it. I'm sorry. Now for the background, I chose a sunset background because that is the time when people light their lamps and decorate their houses. So I've used a light shade of orange at first, then I layered it with a red color. Notice how I am shading. I'm loosely shading. I'm not really thickly shading because I'd be using so many layers, and it turns out that I've used maybe 6 layers for oil pastel because I wasn't satisfied with the color. And now for the flame, I'm using the medium yellow color. But however, I should have given the shade once I did the orange background because it was very difficult for me to, bring the right shade of yellow. I really struggled hard for this. But the reason I chose to do the yellow after drawing the background is that the candle was lit, sorry, the lamp was lit after the background was already existing. So, and that was what I thought, after a background, then we lit the candle, the flame. So, I used a combination of medium yellow, light yellow, white, and yeah, white and little bit of blue at the bottom. That's what I just played with my colors. At a point I thought of stopping the tutorial because it was very difficult to work with, especially the flame, but you need to give it time. It took me maybe 1.5 hour to do this drawing. What is it, painting, what do we call it? I gave a red color to the wick, but later on you'll see I just made it white. And then for the background, I was not really satisfied, so I layered it with layers of orange, red, and magenta, and dark orange, and finally magenta again, followed by red and orange, which you'll see now. See how I'm drawing with the pastels? I'm going in an opposite direction to which I went before. Opposite in sense 90-degree opposite. So that's how I finished, so that there are no gaps. Of course there are gaps, but the gaps reduced. Now I went with the scarlet color once again, and I gave it a background. So don't draw in the same direction all throughout the layers. You should keep on changing the angle of your hand. Otherwise, you'll end up with so many gaps and it'll really be disgusting. So, once I did that, I took a deep red and I went over the whole background. I really wanted a gradient color, a color gradient, which I wasn't getting. So at last, I blended with my fingers. Surprisingly, I could blend really well with the oil pastels, which I already reviewed in one of my previous videos. You could check them out. Camlin is a very popular and good Indian brand, but very soon I'll be buying an international brand of oil pastels, and I'll be reviewing them too. Very soon, in the sense, in a couple of days, I've already ordered them. They're yet to come. So for the ground, I used a combination of deep red and brown. Yeah, that's a dark brown. Giving it a single color isn't really good. The more you blend, the more you layer, the better it turns out. That's what I learned. So now once you're done with it, I didn't use black for the shadow or any part of this drawing. I used deep blue and topped with dark brown for the shadow, because black is too intense. You only want to use it in a very, very specific and particular places. And then I went over with the deep brown. See how it got scraped off, because that was the third layer and it got scraped out. So you really need to glide. The more you're layering, the more difficult it gets to layer. So you have to be very careful and delicate while layering. So after that, went ahead and filled the gaps with orange followed by red. I don't know why my camera is shaking. It wasn't shaking, the focus was kind of shaking. We have to deal with it for now. Okay, now I went over with the deep red. As I said, with the background, I really played with the colors, experimented. Every painting is a new painting, because this was the third time I was doing it. The first two trials I'll show you in the end. This was the third time, and even then, I didn't know what sequence. I just played with my colors, experimented. What next? What next? This is the deep red. Near the edges, I wanted a darker color, and when it comes to the lamp and the surroundings, I wanted a lighter color. So I went in circular motions over here, and followed by the scarlet. So once that's done, I took the orange color and accidentally drew over the flame. Again, I'll be having a tough time doing this flame. So once I just use the orange and blended all the colors very lightly using my fingers. I took the yellow and I kind of corrected the flame, and this is the light yellow. Now I used blue at the bottom because the flame has a little hint of blue in the bottom. So, and then white was a savior, especially for the flame part. Now this was where I was satisfied with the flame. The good thing about these oil pastels is that you can layer it, as I already said. You can always correct, you can always layer. That's not the case with poster paints or watercolors. You do it wrong, you do it wrong, that's all. But with oil paints, that's what I heard about oil paints and oil pastels, you can always layer. And next, I scraped using the scraping tool given in the set. Just wrote Happy Diwali. This was meant to be a greeting card. I'll send it to my grandparents. So, and I cut it and I stuck it on an A4 size sheet. So these were the ones I tried before. That was with a blue background, but you have to be really careful. Otherwise, yellow and blue mix up to give green. And that was the second trial. It was just for for an idea. That's it. I glued it on the A4 sheet, folded it so you can use it as a greeting card too. Yeah. So thanks for watching my video, and let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. And let me know if you want to see more tutorials on oil pastels. I'd be glad to film them for you. I'm also filming another video for Diwali room decor, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you'll know when I upload that video. Yeah. So I'll see you soon. Bye.